In this tutorial video, I'm going to instruct you on how to address a common B2B marketing issue, which is anonymous addresses. So the typical scenario is you're asking for a minimum amount of information, such as email address, to convert on your landing pages. Now the downside is a lot of these individuals are going to provide you with anonymous email addresses. A simple way for me to tell how big of a problem I have with my anonymous addresses is to check out the activity, the send activity of my auto triggers against the different forms. Now in this particular example, we're looking at an automated set of triggers for our web seminars. So I'm going to click on the activity pie chart and I can see how many Gmail addresses I've got that have filled out that form. So it's looking okay, but obviously I want to try to get those people that provided the Gmail address. I want to have something that's going to follow up with them. And I'm going to show you exactly how we do that with an Autobot. From the Makesbridge main page, I'm going to set up my Autobot. Now I open the automation tile and then I click into my Autobots gallery. So here I see a listing of all of my email bots. And you see that there's one called Webinar Host Request Info. What we're doing is we're taking this as an opportunity to not only send the web seminar attendance information, we did that in a different trigger. What we're doing is we're following up to try to get more information from the people who signed up. Now this is particularly important, obviously, for the people who only provided us with an anonymous email address. So I'm going to pop in and I'm going to show you how I got this set up. First and foremost, you see at the very top, I am able to do some customization based on what I know about these people. So for example, if we know that they're constant contact users, we're able to load in a banner that's relevant for them. And likewise with MailChimp. Now, if we don't know, if they didn't provide us with that information, we have something that we can use by default. But let's return to the point here, which was to try to de-anonymize these people who provided Gmail addresses, etc. So you see that I've got a dynamic content filter set up. And the dynamic content filter is targeted for people who have just provided those anonymous addresses. And again, we're going to want to get more information out of them besides that. But it was really simple. All I had to do was just set a filter where if the email address contains Gmail, Yahoo, AOL, Hotmail, etc., then they're going to get this piece of content. Now, we also want to target them based on our relationship with the individual. So if the relationship status is not equal to customer, then we want them to get this piece of content. Okay. Now, it's key if you're going to try to get a person to give you that additional information about themselves, you need to offer something of value. So the way we've put it is that we're explaining to the individual that we're going to be able to do a better job of preparing for the web seminar and make it more relevant for them if they provide us with some additional information. So you see that we first explain that we see that they have an anonymous email address, so we get that covered. We provide some copy as to why they should give us a company address so we can prepare. We're not stopping there. We're also going to ask for some additional information as well. Now the other thing we're able to do with dynamic publishing is we can dynamically load in who the host is. And that's our attempt to start to build a relationship between the audience and the actual presenters themselves. So that is the long and short of how you're able to get an individual to give you some additional information. You create a filter, a dynamic content filter, to ask them specifically for the email address. We had a call to action, which was for them to reply to the email with their full information. And then as long as they're replying, see if you can get a few more questions answered by them. I hope this tutorial about how to de-anonymize those anonymous addresses that are coming in off of those B2B web forms and B2B lead gen sources was very helpful to you. If you have a suggestion or if you have a question that you want to have answered or walk through, we'd be happy to do that. So if you do so, just write into support@makesbridge.com. You can send an email to me, jay.adams@makesbridge.com. We'll get something produced and we'll share it with the audience and get you some answers in the meantime. Thanks again.